Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello to Sir Norman. My name is Siti Sarah binti Johari and I am the first presenter for this group. For the question 1, we are required to do a performance appraisal form that contain the basic component and also the desirable feature for the position of nurse manager. This is the performance appraisal form for the Regal Stationery Sdn Bhd. This form contains the basic components such as section for basic employee information, rating table, and the level of performance, and also desirable features. Okay, in the rating table, we have flexibility, teamwork or communication, decision making, job knowledge, quality and work, productivity, and furthermore. And the score will be like, if you did not meet expectation, you will get 1 mark, or you achieve most expectation, you will get 2 marks. And to the highest which is significantly exceeded expectation, which is 5 marks, you will get 5 marks. Next is performance level. Performance level is what a reviewer will look at you, either you are really exceed the meet responsibility that they want, either they are unsatisfactory with you, or they think that you need improvement, or either you are really fulfill the responsibility or exceed responsibility. Thus, they will give a mark on you based on what they look at you and based on what the job vacancy needed. Of course, we have the desirable feature for the position of a nurse manager. This is all the responsibility that the candidate must fulfill if they want this job vacancy. First, provide nursing leadership and supervision to consistently deliver high standard of care, and inspire and nurture nurses through induction and internship programs. Enhance nurses' clinical competency through mentoring, competency assessment, and teaching, and participate in creative and innovative circle. And lastly, we'll have the employee name and date, and also the reviewer. This is the desirable feature that Regal Stationery Sdn Bhd wants for their nurse manager, to for someone who want to fulfill this job position.
Hai, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Siti binti Zulizam. List to improve on the component evaluation of form. Table 1, accountabilities, objective and standard. And second, competitiveness and indicator. Third, measure achievement to contribution. Table 2, accountabilities, objective and standard. Measure achievement and contribution, stakeholder input and signature. Number 1, the form requests basic employee information. The form includes space to like key achievement, development needs, and employee comments. And table 2, similar to the form in table 1. This form does not include a list of the employees' accountabilities, objective, and standard. Okay, thank you.
I will present the answer 2B. The question is, we need to analyze and suggest the components that missing from the form that we take from the website. We take 2 sample form and we analyze that these 2 sample have some incomplete section, which means in the only have basic section such as employee information, developmental achievement, developmental goals, employee comments, and signatures. This part always have in many form, but this section, such as section accountabilities, objective and standard, section competency and indicator, section developmental need and plan, and section stakeholder input are too difficult we found from the form. So we go through why we need this section to our employee performance form and how it should look like. As you see in our slide, the section accountabilities, objective and standard, this need to be linked to the department and organizational missions. If they do not this, the employees must not realize how their contribution fits into the organization as a whole. Next, section competency and indicator. The definition of each of the competency should be included. The negative consequence of not doing this may include the employee and the manager not having a common understanding regarding performance expectation. Next slide is section developmental need and plan. It can present, but they need to have a timeline attached to the goals. Otherwise, the employee may not be motivated to meet the goals or know how to go about meeting the goals. Then, section stakeholder input. This need to be added so that the supervisor can be sure that the employee is performing up to tasks from the perspective or other stakeholders, for example, peers or customers. And last but not least, section signature. This section must have in every form, but the section form that my group take doesn't have. So I put in our report to explain that this is final section of most forms includes a section in which the employee being rates, the rater and the rater's supervisor provide their signature to show they have seen and discuss the content of the form. The HR department may also provide approval of the content of the form. That's all my explanation for my part. Thank you.
Now, I am going to tell the components and desirable features that are commonly missing in appraisal forms. Components that are commonly missing is accountabilities, objectives and standards, competency and indicators, major achievements and contribution, developmental achievements, developmental needs, plans and goals, stakeholder input, employee comments. For desirable features that are commonly missing is simplicity, relevancy, descriptiveness, adaptability, comprehensiveness, definition clarity, communication, and time orientation. On the next slide, I will explain why. These components are commonly missing in appraisal form is because of companies does not take into consideration the importance of employee participation process. These components or desirable features are often overlooked because the main focus of companies' objectives to maximize output and workers' performance instead of taking into consideration of employees' needs and thoughts regarding the whole process. Within the categories of performance appraisal, there are two aspects to appraisal method. First, the criteria are the aspects the employee is actually being evaluated on, which should be tied directly to the employee's job description. Second, the rating is the type of scale that we use to rate each characteristic in performance evaluation. For example, scales of 1 to 5 essay ratings or yes or no ratings. Tied to the ratings and criteria in the weighting each item will be given. For example, if communication and interaction with client are two criteria, the interaction with the client may be weighted more than communication depending on the job type. It all depends on the type of appraisal method and objectives that the company want to achieve, as there are no wrong or the right appraisal form. Thank you.